We as a society tend to live in the moment. We act on emotion. Emotions take over. When things are going bad, it seems like we will never be up again. And when things are going well, it seems like we'll never be down again. This same concept translates into sports, and we are seeing that right now in the NBA, a little bit in Major League Baseball, I think Major League Soccer. A lot of these sports leagues have postponed games. Specifically, the NBA postponed all three of the playoff games from last night because of what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with the police-involved shooting, whatever happened up there. And I'm going to get to that tomorrow because I don't like to react in the moment. I don't like to talk about things before I know all of the facts. So I'm going to get to that tomorrow. For today, I'm going to stick with the topic that I prepared. Since the NBA restart in Orlando earlier this month, the Lakers have been taking a beating. Besides their opening night win against the Clippers, the remainder of the regular season was ugly for the Lakers. They lost Rondo in practice before the season even restarted. Anthony Davis looked pretty unmotivated throughout, looked out of place at times. LeBron James, though he was putting up pretty good numbers, he didn't look like LeBron James. There was real concern about the Lakers heading into the playoffs. Guys like Charles Barkley were even predicting that the Blazers were going to sweep the Lakers in the first round. There was not a doubt in my mind that the Lakers were not going to have a problem putting away Portland. If you're a Blazers fan, if you're Terry Stotts, the head coach of that team, this playoff series should be an eye-opening experience for you. Damian Lillard needs help. You could see this during the 8-game regular season. Dame had to score 40, 50, sometimes close to 60 points a night for the Blazers to be able to pull off a win. He played so many minutes in those 8 games, played so hard during that stretch. By the time that Portland got into the playoffs, Dame Lillard was spent, which is likely why he ended up getting injured and now he's out. Even with a healthy Dame Lillard, though, it was ludicrous to believe that this Blazers team could beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. And with the Lakers looking as dominant as they've been the past 3 games, fans in Los Angeles are excited about this team once again. Lakers fans really believe that this team has a legitimate shot at winning the NBA title. Just like Portland fans and Charles Barkley, who believed they had a legitimate shot at beating the Lakers in the first round. But everything isn't as it seems with the Lakers, mainly offensively. Just like people were getting caught up in the moment with Portland's stretch of winning at the end of the regular season, people are getting caught in the moment now with the Lakers' success in this series against the Blazers. There was a lot of talk about how poor the Lakers were offensively when the NBA restarted. They were one of the worst offensive teams in Orlando. 19th out of 22 teams in scoring efficiency. 20th in pick and roll efficiency, which is mind-boggling when you have Anthony Davis, who was considered to be one of the best pick and roll players in the NBA. They are the worst three-point shooting team since the restart. During that 8-game stretch, Los Angeles only made a shade over 31% of their three-point tries. But I really didn't put too much stock into any of that, any of their offensive problems during the 8-game regular season. Besides the game against the Clippers, the Lakers didn't have anything to play for. They had pretty much clinched the number 1 seed before they even arrived in Orlando, which didn't mean much because there is no home court advantage. Those 8 games to the Lakers were nothing but warm-up drills, getting back into game shape. But with the way the Lakers have played offensively in this series against Portland, the offensive struggles are a thing of the past now, right? I mean, The Lakers are averaging 114 points a game in the Portland series. Anthony Davis seems to have woken up. He's averaging nearly 27 a game. The Lakers have been one of the best defensive teams in the NBA all year long. So right now, it appears that this team is just marching towards a championship. Not so fast. I am still not sold on this Lakers team as a championship contender. Just like I didn't put too much stock in their offensive struggles during the restart, I'm not impressed with their offensive prowess against Portland, who is one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. I know some of you Lakers fans out there don't want to hear what I'm about to say. I'm not here to rain on your future championship parade that you think is going to happen in October. I'm just giving you the truth as I see it. Once they finish off Portland, the Lakers are in trouble. I've had them meeting the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals all season long. And I still think that's going to be the case. But it is not going to be easy for Los Angeles to get past Oklahoma City or Houston, whoever they end up playing. For one, if you look at the statistics, you would think that the Lakers are great offensively. They're 11th in offensive rating, 11th in points per game. But when you take a deeper look, there is proof that they are vulnerable on the offensive end. All season, the Lakers have been one of the worst jump shooting teams in the NBA. As a team, they rank 27th in effective field goal percentage on jump shots. And they are dead last since the restart. Now, you might be thinking, that's not really a big deal. Just one part of the offense that they struggle in. Except, it kind of is a big deal. If you look at recent history in the NBA, and the past 10 teams to make the NBA Finals, every one of those teams was at the top of the league when it came to jump shooting. The Lakers, as a team, only have 2 players who are averaging over 50% on their jump shots. Kyle Kuzma and Markieff Morris. So, if the Lakers are going to win a title this year, that means one of 3 things. One, they are going to suddenly become a top 5 jump shooting team in the playoffs. Not likely to happen. 2, they're going to rely heavily on Kyle Kuzma and Markieff Morris offensively. That is just not going to happen. Or 3, they're going to buck this trend in the NBA and become the first team in years to be this poor at jump shooting and win the title. What's even more concerning, the guy that many have called the Lakers' X factor in the playoffs, Anthony Davis, is one of the worst jump shooters in the NBA. Now, I'm sure this is shocking to some of you, since AD is widely regarded as one of the best offensive players in the league. But if you're like me, and you've watched him his entire career in New Orleans, past 7 years, then you know that he struggles shooting the ball away from the rim. Honestly, I don't know why this hasn't been mentioned before. Maybe it's because he's played the majority of his career in New Orleans, where he's outside of the national spotlight. But this facet of his game is about to be exposed as we get deeper into the playoffs. During the regular season, Anthony Davis ranked 152nd out of 160 players in jump shooting efficiency, which wouldn't be the worst thing, except that he takes a hell of a lot of jump shots. Since arriving in Orlando, he is dead last in jump shooting efficiency. Another thing that concerns me about Anthony Davis, he's never been here before. And he has the added pressure of playing alongside LeBron James, who is in the midst of what is likely his last chance at an NBA championship. If you look at each of LeBron's 3 title wins, he has been playing with other stars who thrived under pressure. D-Wade and Chris Bosh, they were huge in that 2012 run. Ray Allen, he made the biggest shot of his career when the Heat beat the Spurs back in 2013. And in 2016, LeBron had Kyrie Irving, who completely took over that series. Now, will Anthony Davis be able to do the same thing that those guys did? We don't know, because he's never been in this situation before. He's only had 2 playoff runs in his 8-year career. He's been out of the first round of the playoffs 1 time. That was back in 2018 when the Pelicans swept the Blazers in the first round. But Drew Holiday and Rondo were instrumental in winning that series, not Anthony Davis. The problem is, if AD struggles, if he doesn't step up, LeBron has no one else that he can fall back on. There is no Kevin Love, no Ray Allen, no Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. He doesn't have any of those guys. Who else besides AD can LeBron rely on? Kyle Kuzma? Danny Green? KCP? I mean, give me a break. The Lakers would rather play Oklahoma City in the second round. The Rockets' small ball lineup tends to give their defense problems. But I think that LeBron and the Lakers would beat either Oklahoma City or Houston. I think they would beat them. I think it would be tough, but I think they would beat them. But the Clippers? There is no chance with the Lakers offense struggling like it has and not being able to effectively hit jump shots. There is no chance that this team can beat the Clippers in a 7-game series. All right, that's all for today. Hit that like and subscribe button. Click the notification bell to receive all updates from the channel. Leave me a comment in the section below. Are the Lakers' offensive struggles a real cause for concern going forward in the playoffs? Will LeBron James be able to rely on Anthony Davis when the pressure is on? Let me know your thoughts. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Have any questions, a topic you'd like me to discuss, you can email me at BTLKC84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys next time.